Hey there, and welcome to another one of my VG Tales. This one is going to be specifically actually about my Zelda collecting. As you can see, I have a statue right behind me, Link on Epona, regular edition from first four figures. Apparently goes for about $1,000 these days. Well, that was my first statue from first four figures, and one of my earliest items that I collected from the Zelda series, because as some of you may know, I am a big Zelda geek, and I am a collector of all memorabilia related to it. So basically, why that's there right now is I unfortunately had to sell it, and I had to sell a couple of my other, items. But these statues that I have, right? I want to talk about why I'm selling them, how I picked that I'm selling those specifically, and what this means as a collector. And so what my tale is related emotionally to being a collector and having to do this. So first off, just had to do it because of a couple of financing issues, whatever. I mean, that's fine. It'll be taken care of. And in fact, getting a new, cheaper rent place really soon and all that stuff. So yeah, finances, unfortunately, is an issue. Now, how did I pick what to sell? Well, I needed a little bit of money, a few $100. So I picked an item that's worth a few $100 versus selling a bunch of small things. It makes it easier, right? Now, I've talked about in things like on VGC, the Video Game Collectible Show, where one of the things I said was I collect items that are more expensive and more rare because they keep going up in price way faster than the smaller items do. Well, so you think, well, why would I choose one of this? Why not take the time to sell a bunch of little stuff? Because by the time I want to buy this again, it'll skyrocket in price. It'll be just too unattainable, right? Yes and no, in my opinion. My opinion is that when it comes to first four figure items, they typically are always being sold at some point or another. Yes, prices go up, but this guy right here is, I think, 4 years old now, right? And when it retailed and came out with shipping, it was like $500. Now it's doubled. It took 5 years to double. Well, it's not going to take 5 years to double again, I don't think, because I don't think that the way it works is, hey, it's going to be like, hey, 5 years and then 5 years again, 5 years. No, I think it's going to double way sooner because of the fact that when they first had it, they had to sell out all their inventory. Then, on top of that, it's a Twilight Princess statue. Sorry, I hit the mic. It's a Twilight Princess statue. Twilight Princess just had their HD release, so people are all about Zelda HD. And now you also have the 30th anniversary of Zelda. So you have two factors that are putting this big influx of pricing on Twilight Princess merchandise and Zelda merchandise period, which is great for my overall collection. I mean, it really does do wonders to the value of a collection. But as far as doubling again, I don't think it's going to take 5 years. I think it's actually going to be either sooner or longer. I think it might actually be longer because of the grounds where next year won't be the 30th anniversary anymore. And then people are going to be about Zelda Wii U or whatever you want to call it, Breath of the Wild, right? So I think, in fact, the price actually might go down a little bit. And then once we get closer to the 35th anniversary, it's going to go up and be even higher. So I think it is possible it will go up again. I think it's going to have a down. So that could be my opportunity to buy it again. Now, what does this mean, though, in terms of emotionally as a collector, right? Well, I chose, like I said, this item because of those factors where I think it's common enough that even though it's expensive, it's something I could obtain. Versus if I was to sell some of my other items, it would be too much of a hassle to go through all the little items and all that stuff, and I would actually lose a good amount of my collection in order to make up that difference, because there's a lot of low value items. Now, if I was to sell any of the other more expensive items, those ones I would actually classify as rare. I don't classify this as rare. I classify this as uncommonly common, where it's only like maybe you'll ever find one on eBay at a time, but it's common enough that you will find one most likely on eBay with some regularity. You're just not going to find 10 or 20 of them, find one or two. So as a collector, I had to rationalize. I had to think about what to pick. And so there is a process that if you ever have to let go of something from your collection, because I've seen people let go of items. They've had to sell for whatever reasons, weddings, etc. But personally, if you're selling it for a wedding, I think you should have planned that a little bit better versus something like an unexpected life event. That's unexpected. So, what I'm trying to say is that if you are a collector and you have to sell something, it sucks. It does. I hate letting it go. I really do. But I know one day I'll see it again. Not this exact one, but another one. And you can't get yourself too attached. You have to keep thinking that one day you're going to get that item back. You are going to be an even better collector than before. You're going to maybe reevaluate your collecting strategy, or maybe your collecting strategy is fine and something came up and you just had to sell something. But think about what you're selling, because like I said, I could have sold something if I wanted a couple $100 for this one rare item that I have. Thing is that there are some items that are worth like $200 that are way more rare than this $1,000 statue. So I'd rather part with a $1,000 statue and get extra money out of it, even if I'm not going to use that extra money or need that extra money. Because if I was to sell one of the other things that, yeah, were cheaper, it would take forever to find again. And it will slowly creep up in price because of the fact that no one's selling it. Its value is unknown until someone does sell it again. And those have higher jumps. The things that are $200, $300, $400, those have higher jumps. And you got to think about that. So there is a strategy. So that's my tale, where I had to sell it. I mean, everything's fine and all that stuff. This isn't a vlog. It's just a mix of education and mindset. And I hope you all learned something from it. So if you like this little VG tale, you should check out some more of them. There's going to be a playlist down in the description. And I've been Link584, and I bid you adieu.
Hey guys, it's Matt Virgo, and welcome to VG Tales, a series where we tell some stories where video games are involved. I know most of these have a face cam of some sort, but I didn't shower today, so you gotta deal with my voice. So today's story, we're gonna talk about how I had a 2-year relationship because of a mutual Kingdom Hearts love. To protect identities, we're gonna call them nominee, and we're gonna refer to them with gender-neutral pronouns. So let's take a trip back to my junior year of high school, where I had to take a gym class. One of my best friends at the time, we can call him Riku, was also in the class and convinced me to take it with him. Riku, being a little bit obsessive, developed a massive crush on